So it looks like more and more that this Halloween Horror Nights season is not going to have the Universal monsters, which sucks because they've been having a massive resurgence since 2018, or excuse me, 2019. Since the 2019 houses, they've been consistent, although I will say that the Eternal Bloodlines one was, yeah. Everyone else, but I think Legends Collide is the best. But I get it, like, Universal Monsters have a home now in Dark Universe, and they're going to have a house in the year-round scare place in Vegas, the year-round haunt. So it does make sense that they already use the Universal Monsters, everywhere else. But if they had a Universal Monsters house this year, this is my pitch for a Halloween Horror Nights Universal Monsters house. And yeah, John Murdy, everyone else out there, call me. I'll work on this thing for pennies, even. Anyway, so this house, and don't get me wrong, even though I'm kind of bummed that the Universal Monsters aren't going to be there this year, what I am excited about is everything else. Like there's a nice trade. It looks like there's going to be a solid trade-off, both in original houses and especially IP houses. You know, Jason returning. Art the Clown looks like he's on his way. And yeah, just looks like a solid year this year. So I'm fine with it. I'm fine, but I hope they bring Universal Monsters back this year. But like I said, let's get back to the task at hand. So the idea I had for this for this house would be called Universal Monsters Breakout. So Universal Monsters Breakout would be set in the present time. And it would actually be kind of mixing the lore of Dark Universe with the Universal Monster lore that we've gotten so far at Halloween Horror Nights. Essentially, this takes place in a prison. This takes place in a Supermax prison, and it was a combined effort between Victoria Frankenstein and the Van Helsing family, the last ones of the Van Helsing families before they die. You know, the last one, Achia, I think her name was, died in Eternal Bloodlines. So now we have a prison cell that, like a Supermax prison, that has held all the monsters, and now you're in the middle of a breakout. You are in a full-on, this shit has gone sideways, and now you have to escape before shit goes wild. That's the general idea. Now, for like how this house would look, the opening one would be like the gates have been busted open, and you're hearing like monster growling and snarls, and even the Wolfman howls here and there. The opening scene would be like you walking in, and it shows like portraits on the wall of of the Van Helsings and the Frankensteins, and everyone else a part of this. And you see like the warden like bust out all bloody, and he's like, "They got out! They're all out!" And then he just goes back in. Then you get jump scared by like a guard going, you know, "This way to safety." So you go into the first room, and the first room would have, you'd see more of like the cells broken out, and that's when you get jump scared by one of the monsters. I would say probably maybe the Wolfman or Creature, where they pop out at you. You move forward, and then you see a guard being attacked by the Wolfman, and he like grabs him and pulls him back in. Further into it, you see more like each cell, like you're going through each cell. Like that's kind of the idea, is that each cell is meant for a different monster. So like the Wolfman one is more like, it's almost like they're almost treated like terrariums almost, where you'd be like in a forested, kind of enclosed forested area, and the Wolfman's there tearing his way through guards. The next one would be like Egyptian symbols, so it would be the Mummy. And the Mummy, I would actually have Emotep, because they've been only using Karis. So actually have Emotep come out, and I think it would be kind of fun to have like in the cell, if you look really close, like an Easter egg of the Book of the Dead from the 1999 movie, even though it's more based off of a more horror, like a more twisted version of Emotep from the Boris Karloff movie, but still. I would like that would be my thing. Now, as the story goes on, you would see more guards getting absolutely brutalized. And here's the thing: I would have all the monsters here. It wouldn't be like, oh, we're missing one. No, we would have multiple ones. Like I would have one where you're passing by a security booth and you're seeing like, where are you? Where are you? And then you hear a voice go, am I over here? Am I over there? Like it's the Invisible Man taunting this guard. And then you go to another one and you see like the Frankenstein monster just lifting this guy up and like strangling him. Furthermore, and when I say all of them, I mean all of them. Like you have the Phantom of the Opera like spring out in one scene, and just be like, they'll pay for locking us away, and just vanish back. Then you have like another one of like the Hunchback. He pops out and goes, "I didn't deserve to be here," and just go back in. And as an added bonus, not only would I have like the classic monsters in this story, I would actually bring in two more. I would actually add two more monsters to this prison, like to this story. Those being the Metalunan from This Island Earth and the Mole People from the Mole People. Yeah, there was a time during the 90s when they were relaunching the Universal monsters again, because that's what Universal tends to do. Like every decade or so, they'll like bring back the Universal monsters and put a lot of like IP marketing into them. You should have seen it in the 90s, man. Like they were like the Universal monsters were like everywhere in the 90s. You think they're exposed now? The 90s, they had trading cards. They had like Beanie Babies you could get at Walgreens. Remember when you could get Beanie Babies at Walgreens? Do y'all even remember Beanie Babies? I don't know. Like, I don't know if I've just alienated half my target audience. Oh, well, I don't fucking care. Yeah, and among that, among the Universal monsters in that version were the Metalunan and the Mole People. Or at least a Mole Man. They kind of kept the Invisible Man and Phantom out for some reason. They just brought those two in, I guess to have like some reference to the 50s, but still I digress. So in here you would have one scene where like the Mole Men would actually pop out of the ground and attack you. I don't know if that would need like a false floor, but I would definitely have like a moment where like there'd be a trapdoor and the Mole Man would spring out at you, or have multiple Mole Men. Or even have like one guard like shooting at the ground, like they're under the ground, and then a Mole Man comes out, grabs him, pulls him in, or tries to attack him, something like that. For the Metalunan, I would have it that the Metalunan is just, you're seeing him kill a guard. It just screams at you. Something like that. Like, just have a reference to the monsters of the 1950s. At the end of it all, you would have Dracula, out of his coffin and declaring that the night, we own the night again. Like, we are free and we rule the night once more. So that's how, and it would end like the final room would be all the monsters like scaring you as you're making your final exit. Similar to, again, the original Universal Monster House that brought them back to HHN. That's what I'd like to do. Like, that's the working idea I have for this. Now, I would do a follow-up. There is a idea for a follow-up, in this theoretical idea, is that after Breakout, we come to Siege. So Universal Monsters Siege would be a house that is set of the monsters attacking the country. Like, you've now got the monsters rampaging, and you see them in different scenes attacking, like, they're actually attacking the White House. So you would be in like a this facade would be like a White House that's in flame, like looks like it's burning on the inside. You see like a tank outside and soldiers trying to communicate like what's inside, things like that. And each room would have like presidential aides getting attacked by the monsters, or the monsters themselves just fighting their way to get to the Oval Office. And the final scene of that would be Dracula, at the Oval Office at the desk and just drinking the blood of the president, and just being like, we rule, like we have won, you are doomed, or something like that. So yeah, so there you go. Did I have it is this ever going to happen? I'd like to think. I think it'd be kind of cool, but I don't think we'll ever see it. Do I think we'll get the Universal Monsters back next year? I mean, it is 35th anniversary. It will be an anniversary year, so I imagine they would be stupid not to have the Universal Monsters here. But yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of these Universal Monster houses, and how would you do them? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time, Multiverse.